The Trader's Edge with Steve Rhodes. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. The Trader's Edge. Now, Steve Rhodes.
Friday, actually Fun Day Friday edition on the November 1st edition of today's Trader's Edge Show. I'm your host, Stevie Perseverance Rhodes, who absolutely knows that each of us should always be pioneers of our future versus prisoners of our past. Hope everyone out there is having a great day. Hey, you know the easy way to have a great day? Just always realize that life is happening for us, not to us. That's right. When you and I make that one little 2x4 shift, what it means is that you and I can find the gift in every set of circumstance that life is going to toss at us, and it will. Now, today, you and I, we're going to go check on the circumstance of these markets. We're going to go figure out what the bulls and the bears, what the buyers and sellers are communicating to you and I just past 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I want you to know I'm absolutely grateful for your presence here, but much more important than that, during this next 60 minutes, I'm here to serve you. So feel free to give us a call at 877-927-6648. If you can't call in, we've got you covered. Go ahead and send me an email, steve@tfnn.com. Inside that subject heading, if you'd be kind enough to put radio show question, that would be great. And, of course, in the Tiger's Den, any ping will do. So let's go ahead and get this show started on fantastic Friday. Of course, this is Tiger Financial News Network. I'm Steve Rhodes. Welcome to the show. Right now, we got all the indices in the green. The Dow is up 237 points, about 0.9%. S&P up 22, 0.7%. NDX 100, 0.5%, or 40 points. Russell's up 1.5%, 22 points. The upside, she's trading at 15.85. Spot volatility index down 5%, off 73 cents. Trading out at 12.49. Gold's off about $2. Silver is up 2 pennies. Light sweet crude on the move up $1.18. Trade out at 55.36. Natural gas up 3 pennies. U.S. Treasuries, the 30-year is off about nearly a full point, down 25 ticks out there. Leading the charge to the upside, it is, I don't know how you pronounce it, Beigene, Beigene. I don't know how you pronounce it, but it is up $46 or 33%. Biorad Labs, I can pronounce that one. That's up 22 and change. Amid ISIS. Yeah, that's what it looks like to me. Up $16 or 12%. Qorvo, Qorvo. Is that how you pronounce that? That's up 18% or $15. The market's trying to throw Steve-O for a loop out here. To the downside, we've got it. Arista Networks off $57 or 23%. Yikes. Mercado Libre off $23, nearly 5%. Kinsale Cap Group up $13 and 12%. So we've got things to look at, of course. We want to look at what you want to look at. So let's go take a look at the general markets here. We'll come back to the questions, those by email, those in the den. So far, Ruby wants to take a look at Cocoa for Cocoa Puffs, and we'll do that. But let's begin by taking a look at the markets, try to get a feel for what they're doing. So let's just start here, take a look at the market profiles. For subscribers, especially, what I want you to know is so far, based on today's action, those new profiles we were looking at inside the ES Mini, inside the NQ, they have vanished. They have gone away. Not unusual, of course, early this morning, we were using Stevie's advanced Doppler system. We've made a higher high inside both the ES and the NQ. The Dow Equity Futures contract is traded right up into its descending trend line. Now, the descending trend line I'm referring to takes us back into the July of 2019 highs, as well as the highs out here in September. And so prices just hit that area out there. So here's what we know. Let's summarize it. We know that in the ES, prices above both the daily and the weekly profile. The same thing with regard to the NQ. And when price gets above all resistance, profile resistance, that is, we've got to go to other tools to try to figure out what's going on. In the case of the Dow, the top of its weekly profile is at 27,375. And in the Russell 2000, prices above both daily and weekly profiles out there. So if we're going to go take a look at other tools to figure out what's going on inside inside the market. Here is a monthly time frame chart for the ES Mini. Now, this is a non-decorated chart out here. We're going to begin the decoration process, right? So what are the couple things that we can take a look at? Well, one of the things that you and I can take a look at is just a simple trend line out here. So if we go, and that's this yellow diagonal line, we're on a monthly chart. If we take the ES Mini and we come back, we take a look at the January 2018 high. We go ahead and connect that to the high on September of 2018, and then we just simply draw the line over to the right-hand side. So if you want to know where the ES Mini is trading into, it's trading right into that potential resistance line or area. Something to think about. Now, what happens if price takes out that resistance line? Where may it be heading to? Well, that's when we like to go ahead and certainly use those horizontal trading ranges. So here what we've got is we've got both the daily, those are the blue lines out there, the weekly, those would be the green lines, and the monthly, which would be the red lines out there. Why are the lines different? Well, horizontal trading ranges are based upon the open or close of the candle. It's not interested in the extreme emotion of the candle. Those would be the lower and upper wicks or shadows, whatever you like to refer to them as. Since it's using the closing price, yesterday was the end of the month. Wasn't the end of the week, right? It was certainly from a daily standpoint out there. And so it's going ahead and it's taking a look at all that data, taking a look at the closing and opening prices, and then figuring out where's the largest concentration at? Where is it where we have the co-located opens and closes out there? Now, if you can see it, maybe in Tiger TV, maybe it's easier to see. You'll see these little dashed lines, the green, the red, the blue out here. Those are the ranges that represent those horizontal trading range areas out there. You can see, for example, at the price point of $1122.94 or thereabouts, there have been 377 opens and closes on a daily basis, taking us all the way back into the 1997 time frame out there. Now, it's a monthly chart that we're looking at, or monthly candles, but I can still, with this tool, identify where the daily horizontal trading ranges. So the question that I had posed to you is that if price is not at resistance and it can trade above this rising trend line, where would price head to? Well, here in using our market, not our market profiles, but our horizontal trading ranges, we would give you the target of around 3106, 3122. 3106 happens to be the daily horizontal trading range level. But here's what we know right now on November 1st. Price is running into a potential resistance area. That's in the ES Mini, S&P 500. If we take a look at the NQ, we can start with that same blank screen out here. We can take a look at some trend lines, or a trend line specifically, and let's just take a look at the trend lines here from 2019. Actually, we take it from 2018 high in October, my apologies, and then I'm just simply using the high in July of 2019. So price, in essence, is up towards or close to the top of that trend line. What happens if price breaks through that? Where will it head to? Well, with a lack of profile information to help us identify support and resistance, in that case resistance, what we do is we use our horizontal trading ranges. We take a look at the horizontal trading ranges, again the same makeup, red, green, and blue, although I've turned off the blue ones here for the time being. What we can also see is that in addition to hitting that trend line inside the NQ, 8158.20, not to be exact, but to be exact, is resistance from a weekly standpoint. That's the level that price needs to clear in order to take a look at the 84 to 8,500 area inside the NQ. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
If you're not currently using the TAS Profile Scanner when looking at setting up your trading opportunities, then your arsenal is short a mighty weapon. The TAS Profile Scanner is a standalone piece of software that instantly filters over 2,500 global financial markets such as stocks, ETFs, commodity futures, and Forex. Headed by Steve Dahl, TAS understands that in today's technological world, the use of top-flight software applications and technical analysis expertise is essential to successful trading in today's market. You also gain access to the webinar that Steve Dahl and Tom O'Brien just hosted, The Best Way to Use the TAS Profile Scanner to Profit. This webinar archive is available for all subscribers immediately upon signing up. All new subscriptions also come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. Start your subscription by visiting the front page of TFNN.com today, and you'll find the TAS Profile Scanner under the Services tab. Sign up today. Are you in the market for buying or selling real estate in the Bay Area, including the surrounding St. Petersburg, Tampa, and Clearwater markets? Tiger Real Estate LLC is a firm that has extensive experience in the Tampa Bay area. Whether you're looking to sell your current property for maximum value, or you're in the market for a second home or investment property, Tiger Realty has the experience across all areas of real estate in the Tampa Bay area to help buyers and sellers make the most informed decisions across all price levels. From the price you should be paying per square foot in certain up-and-coming areas to the type of cash flow investment properties are capable of creating, Tiger Real Estate can help you make the best decision when it comes to all areas of the market. Before you make one of the biggest decisions of your financial future, call Tiger Real Estate LLC today at 727-329-8322 or email us at tiger@tfnn.com. That's 727-329-8322. Call us today.
Many of our new listeners have heard about The Tiger's Den. The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of the TFNN shows, plus see all of the charts as they happen live and have access to archives of all of those charts. You can test drive The Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days and greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets and how to make your money work for you. Details on The Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com.
TFNN has launched our brand new website. You can still visit us at the same TFNN.com URL, but when you do, you'll see a new and improved homepage with a much simpler navigation, whether you're watching Tiger TV live in high definition or just accessing your newsletter subscriptions. We even have new pricing in 6 months and yearly options. Check out the new TFNN.com now and experience all the upgrades. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Welcome back, folks. Sorry about that. I just kind of messed something up. Oh, that's interesting. I don't know what that is, but I'll deal with that later. So Ruby was asking about cocoa. We'll go back and really summarize what we took a look at inside the ES and the NQ. I'm just going to switch things up because we'll take a look at the Dow and just come up, summarize, what it is that we took a look at, and then we'll begin taking a look at these questions. So Ruby is asking for a price target, an upside price target for cocoa. Now, what a great chart this is. If we take a look at cocoa makes a Rhodes Momentum Indicator top daily chart is the time frame that we're looking at all the way back here in July of 2019 when it makes its bottom. It does it with the TD setup 9 count. It does it on the bar following bar number 9. It does that on August 20th, 2019. And then as it starts doing its Chapman wave to the upside out there, it finds a top as well as a Rhodes Momentum Indicator top, Ruby, on October 11th. Wave number 7, that's letter number G, Rhodes Momentum Indicator signal. You get that bearish reversal signal the following day on October 14th. So the upside target has been met. The upside target being resistance. So you've got a really valid topping signal. Right now, what price is doing is trading in between support, which was the most recent TD setup breakout level. That's at 2368. So far, that area has held. But what we can see here is what's taken place today is a test of Stevie's green line. And price must close over that in order to say, okay, maybe more than a counter trend rally has taken place. So cocoa, or going cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, is trading in between support, 2368, and resistance, 2477, Stevie's green line. I hope that helps you out with regard to your trade. It's kind of in neutral territory as we speak right now. Okay, so let's go back and take a look at, we looked at the ES, we looked at the NQ, let's take a look at the Dow Equity Futures contract as well. Let's do the exact same things out here. Let's take a look at our trend line. So here's our trend line. What do we know about the trend line resistance level? Well, the Dow Equity Futures contract can move just a tad higher before it hits it, but it's basically trading up into that area. What happens if price closes above that level? Well, then we revert back to our horizontal trading ranges. So if price can take out that resistance area, the trend line resistance, then what you and I would anticipate As the price move up to 27,871 or thereabouts, that would be your first target. That's because that's the weekly horizontal trading range. That would be the next one up to the upside. By the way, last week what price did was it tested the bottom weekly horizontal trading range level of 25,695 out there. Now, I'm not saying that price in the Dow Equity Futures contract would stop at 27,871. That just happens to be the next area of resistance. So if you and I are going to summarize what the markets are doing here, we're not going to get emotional, although we love emotion, right? You gotta love emotion because that's really what the markets are all about. You and I are interpreting the emotion of the markets, what they're communicating to us. We know that the ES, the NQ, the YM, meaning the S&P, the NASDAQ 100, and the Dow are all trading up into some trend line resistance. So we still are in what Stevie will call a consolidating market. Let's not overindulge ourselves here. I don't even know what that means, but you know what I mean out there. Let's just simply remain calm and cool and understand what the markets are communicating to you and I. So in other words, as much jubilation as might be going on, I still believe the markets are not exactly out of the woods. But maybe I'm the one that's deep into the woods out there. Speaking of wood choppers, and I don't even know what that means, but let's go take a look at the first question that came in. This coming in from Sylvia. Sylvia says, Sylvia is asking, would you, I'm referring to you out there, all the Utes out there, would you be shorting Tesla? TSLA is the ticker symbol. So she's considering a short trade in Tesla. Let's go take a look at it, and let's go figure out where support and resistance are, what it's doing in relationship to its profiles. My goodness, a huge gap to the upside, and that is what Sylvia's looking at. Sylvia's saying to herself, you know, Steve-O, this gap has got to get filled at some point in time, so should I go ahead and short it? Was the move to that upside, that huge gap to the upside, was that some kind of blow off top? Well, you're above daily profiles, you're above weekly profiles, and where price stalled last week was the top of its monthly profile. That's at 318.74. So price has hit resistance. The question is there any kind of topping pattern out there? Now, by topping patterns, you and I are going to go ahead and take a look at the daily, the weekly, and the monthly. If we take a look at the daily time frame chart out here, let's try to figure out what wave count this thing might be in. Let's get the let's get the low swing point to count. You've got wave number 4. So Basil says, hey, after wave number 4, the market can do something else. Well, in this case here, Sylvia, it's just moving sideways, pulling back a bit, but price is above Stevie's green line, 302.84. That's support. Can I suggest that you take a short right now? I don't see the topping signal. I just see what I would call a normal retracement in a move higher out here. Now, will price get back and fill that gap? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. We really have to go back and study the gaps of Tesla out there. We're not going to do that. I'm simply going to answer the question with regard to, is there a topping pattern in place on the daily time frame chart? And the answer was no. Now, with regard to the weekly time frame chart, well, on the weekly time frame chart, you certainly have an A to B equals CD pattern. Let's go ahead and draw that in. Let's go see where price is at in relationship to that move. Was it 211? Was it 211? Yeah, it was at 211 out there. And what we can see is that price made a 1, so far, it's made a 1 to 1.272, A to B equals CD. This is going to be bar number 8 of a TD setup 9 count. Of course, we need bar number 9 to form, which means a close above bar number 5. That's below 250 out there, so likely to happen, but you never know. So you may get an active TD setup 9 count pattern come next week out there. With an active 9 count pattern, then okay, maybe price does pull back, but you got to break through the support level of the daily time frame first, and that was Stevie's green line out there. So potential for a top. The A to B equals CD pattern, by the way, that's a wide-ranging bar coming into it. The way you would normally interpret that is markets don't end on wide-ranging bars, and therefore price would be targeting this next level to the upside, 355.13. In fact, Sylvia, you should reach that conclusion unless we see price close below Stevie's green line on the daily time frame. From a monthly perspective, well, we already covered the fact that Tesla hit resistance and it stopped where sellers were at. That was the top of that monthly profile. Of course, what price did when it was moving lower was it found support where? At the breakout level of 180 even Steven. So price right now is trading in between support, 180 even Steven, and resistance, the 318.74 level. So should you take a short on that? Here's this deal. I don't see the topping pattern. Not everything is going to form a topping pattern, though, when it identifies a top. But price is still above 302.85. You're at 311. I would just sit tight to see what happens when price tests that area of support. So I hope that helps you out. Thanks so much for writing in. Have a great weekend out there. AR, that's Aaron. He writes in and he says, I'm currently long gold miners, but I'm also hedged via JDSTs. A time to take my hedge off. Well, so let's go take a look at the gold miners. We're going to have to do that when we come back from this break. That must have been a strategic pause that Stevie has. And by gold miners, I'm going to assume that what Aaron is referring to is the GDX, which, by the way, is trading above the top of its daily, in between its weekly, and in between its monthly profile. A new monthly profile for November. Hey, happy November, folks. We'll be right back. I'm certain you are or strive to be one of the best at everything you do in life. It's the most common trait that we tigers and tigresses share. If you're looking to become the best of the best when it comes to managing your money, let me teach you to do what most wealth managers tell you can't be done, which is how to time the markets. I'm Steve Rhodes, author of Mastering Probability, and for the last 12 months, Timer Digest has been tracking my newsletter signals, which have earned me the ranking as our #1 market timer in the nation for the S&P 500 for the last 12, 6, and 3 months. Timer Digest also ranks me as the #1 market timer for gold as well. The fact is, markets can be timed, and I'll teach you the exact set of tools that I use that has transformed me into one of the best at what I do. Sign up for Mastering Probability today by clicking on the newsletter tab on the homepage of TFNN.com and get immediate access to workshops where I take you step by step how to use an extraordinary set of tools as well as provide great market calls too. Sign up today.
The Path of Least Resistance is David White's daily trading newsletter, and if you're looking for active trading ideas, then now's a perfect time for a 30-day free trial to this powerful daily trading advisory service. David uses his years of trading experience to offer his subscribers his trading ideas each morning in his Path of Least Resistance newsletter. Using a combination of equity trades along with options, David keeps his subscribers up to date with all pertinent market information with intraday afternoon updates when warranted. Don't miss out on this great chance to get a 30-day free trial to David's daily newsletter, The Path of Least Resistance, with no obligation to pay anything. David has been delivering solid recommendations for his subscribers recently, and if you'd like to see the type of newsletter he delivers every morning, then visit the front page of TFNN and you'll find The Path of Least Resistance under Trading Newsletters. For all the details and to start your 30-day free trial today, log on to TFNN.com now. TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartleys, ABCs, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. So we're beginning to take a look at the mining equities for Aaron. Aaron is asking, in essence, he's asking what's going on with the mining equities. So let's just do that. He'll make his decision about how he wants to handle his trade out there. So it's the end of the week. Let's take a look at what has transpired over the last couple of weeks inside of gold. Trade out at the 1511 area. And what we have out here is we've got the weekly profile. We're supposed to have the weekly. I think we ran into this problem yesterday. Give me a second here and make sure. I don't know why. Why does it say daily? Why does it say daily? Let me try this out here. Let me go with game plan B. It's always good to have a backup, although that's not doing what I needed to do. Let me come back here. Let me come back. Oh, I see. I see what happened. Give me a second here. Now Stevie's got it. Just got the wrong boxes checked. So here's what we know about what gold is doing from a weekly perspective. And then we'll get back to the GDX. And prices really struggled at the 1520 area. That is the center of its weekly profile out there. And it has dealt with that area, quite frankly, since September 9th. We're now November 1st out here. So it's in a real trading range, Aaron, which is basically between about the 1489 level and 1520. You're at 1511 right now. That's what the weekly is showing. If we go ahead and go back now to a proper daily chart out here, we can also see that price is running a resistance at the top of its profile. That was at 1513 out here. Price has been trading between 1482 and 1530. So we just have this consolidation move. So what does that mean? We just have this consolidation move. Well, it just means we have a sideways move, a consolidation. What else do we have out there? Is gold consolidating sideways to move higher or move lower? It's a great question. So we go back to a daily time frame chart for gold. And what do we know we have out here? What we know we have is we've got a very valid topping pattern. We've got the Rhodes Momentum Indicator top. We can see that as price was making its highs back in August, we can see a shooting star that identified that Rhodes Momentum Indicator top. We can see a bearish engulfing. We can see a three-river evening star. We know there's significant resistance up there. Now, price hasn't busted through support, being the bottom of its weekly or its daily profile, but you've really got a valid topping pattern, and it's just consolidating sideways out here. So maybe what it's really doing, it's consolidating sideways to move lower. And how much lower? Stevie shares with you much, much lower. Now, let's go take a look at the GDX. If we take a look at the GDX, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a look at the weekly time frame chart. In the weekly time frame chart, what you can see out here, Aaron, is another very valid topping pattern. You expect to see this when we took a look at the gold contract on its daily time frame, making those Rhodes Momentum Indicator patterns. Well, that's exactly what you have on the GDX out here. And in order for the GDX to get much momentum to the upside, this kind of suggests keeping your hedge, so to speak, is price would need to clear Stevie's green line. That's 2854. Until it does that, you can see the sideways-ish move out here. More likely than not, what the GDX is doing over the long haul, it's getting ready to form an A to B equals CD to the downside, or even make its way down to $20.28. Look, these are the topping patterns. You and I should really be agnostic as to the symbol that we're looking at out here, the instrument that we're looking at. We just really trade these exact same patterns out here. And so at this stage here, price is below a key level of resistance for you on a weekly basis, and that's 28.55. So what's going on in a daily time frame out here? As I like to tell folks, not much. But I don't know. Let's really go expand the chart and see what we see. Well, here you can see the Rhodes Momentum Indicator top from a daily perspective inside the GDX. What you see out here is a series of lower lows, a series of lower highs out there. As far as I'm concerned, that just tells us about a downtrend. Now, granted, price is above Stevie's red line out there, and we would say, hey, price could move higher. But what you and I know is we know that gold itself has got resistance at that 1520-ish level, and the GDX is not going to move higher, substantially higher, without gold doing the same thing. There's nothing for us to look at on a monthly time frame that's going to give us any more information for the GDX. So we're going to leave things right there. And Aaron, thanks for writing in. I hope that that assists you with regard to your trade. Best of luck. We've got another question. Oh, this one, Sylvia. Sylvia's hard at work here. Can I comment on October as the liftoff of the Sanity Clause rally out there? And I love the sense of humor out there. So the answer is we covered this yesterday. I don't have all my tools yet in operation out here on my new supercomputer system out here. This is the Cray. Well, it's really the crawl, but it's crawling up towards the Cray out there. But if we take a look at the seasonal factor, let me see if this chart is still available. And here's what we do, Sylvia, what we should do is we've got these seasonal time frames with periods of when the market should be moving higher or lower out there, just traditional moves. And typically, over the last 86 years out there, the Dow has formed its bottom in October, usually around October 13th. So what do we know about the Dow Equity Futures contract? What we do know is that back in August, let me get the cursor out here, and exactly, the Dow Equity Futures contract, that's what you and I are going to use to help answer your question. It was on August 6th when the Dow Equity Futures contract formed that TD setup 9-count bottom. That's been the bottom out there for the pullback in 2019. And we go back a little further and probably see a little bit lower bottom, and that was in June. And of course, back in June, what do we get? A Rhodes momentum indicator bottom signal. But let's just kind of stay with where we're at right now. So what happens here, Sylvia, is price makes a nice move to the upside. Where it stalls out at is Stevie's, it stalls out at that TD 9-count resistance, 27,329. Creates a little shooting star out there, pulls back into where? Into support of that TD setup 9-count, 25,910. And it does that on October 3rd. So for all intents and purposes, that October 3rd low, until that is taken out, was the beginning of that Santa Claus rally that you are asking about. It's as simple as that. Now, remember, we took a look at the Dow Equity Futures contract. We used some trend lines out there. We went ahead and we used horizontal trading ranges. And now what we can see is the key levels where the Dow Equity Futures contract needs to close above in order to move higher is going to be about 27,262. That's the low one. Okay, that's the resistance level of that TD setup 9-count. And we can go back just a little bit higher, which is 27,329. That's the level that we're taking a look at, that the Dow Equity Futures contract must close above out there, Sylvia, to extend those gains and to reconfirm this Santa Claus rally. Let us not forget, the markets are still in a consolidation pattern until we clearly break above those rising trend lines that you and I took a look at. So I hope that helps you out and answers your question about the seasonality of the Dow Jones Industrials. We've got another question, and this is coming from HD, High Definition, when it comes to the market. And High Definition wants to go take a look at EEM, those emerging markets. So when we get back from the break, that's what we're going to do. Of course, I want to hear from you as well. 877-927-6648 or Steve at TFNN.com.
If you're in the CD market and looking for a secure investment, the Tiger First Mortgage Program may work for you. The security for these first mortgages are building lots in the tax opportunity zone in St. Petersburg, Florida. The Tax Act of 2018 set up tax-free zones across the country where you can build and hold for 10 years and pay no tax on the profits, which makes these lots valuable. The investment is anywhere from $30,000 to $75,000. The interest paid is 7% yearly, paid on a monthly basis. According to Bankrate.com, the best rate for a 4-year CD in the country as of February 20th is 3.1%. A $50,000 investment at a normal 4-year CD rate of 3.1% would give you income of $1,550 per year or $6,200 over the 4-year period. That same $50,000 investment in the Tiger First Mortgage Program would give you $3,500 per year or $14,000 over the 4 years. Which would you prefer, $6,200 or $14,000 of interest on your investment? If you would like more information about the Tiger First Mortgage Program, you can call me at 877-518-9190. That's 877-518-9190.
If you haven't checked out the newsletters page of TFNN.com, what are you waiting for? All of the TFNN newsletters are informative, up-to-date, affordable, and a must-have for every trader looking to gain a competitive informational edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets to offer you the very latest in market news. Plus, new subscribers get to test drive our newsletters risk-free for 30 days. From all aspects of the markets, including stocks, bonds, metals, commodities, and tech, there's a newsletter to fit your needs exclusively from TFNN. Stay informed each day you trade and get that competitive edge that will help you stay ahead of the game. Visit our newsletters page by going to TFNN.com and click the newsletters button near the top of the page. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Biotech is booming, but for how long? Whether you think the biotech bull has room to run or has run its course, trade LABU or LABD. Direction's daily S&P Biotech 3 times bull and bear ETFs. Visit directioninvestments.com/biotech today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
Welcome back, folks. So we're taking a look at EEM. That is the iShares Emerging Markets ETF. And the question is, hey, can we just take a look at it? So we are looking at it. And here's what we know. We know that price is trading above the top of its daily profile, so that's bullish. It's traded above the top of its weekly profile, so that's bullish. And it's trading in between the top and bottom of its monthly profile. So there's your trading range, HD. Your trading range is 38.53 to 44.28. So very much likely that we could say if we're in the favorable seasonal cycle out here, if the U.S. dollar index doesn't get too strong, that you could see the EEM headed up to the 44.28 level. Let's go take a look at Stevie's other charts. Let's take a look at the daily time frame chart out here. And on the daily time frame chart, we can see as an A to B equals CD to the upside. That gives you a price projection of 43.70. 43.70, I believe the resistance level was 44.28. So there it becomes your range. We can see that on this C to D leg, today marks wave number 6. That's letter F on my screen. So this may be nearing a top as it gets up towards that area, that 1-to-1, A to B equals CD, as well as the top of that monthly TAS market profile. What you'd be looking for there is wave number 7. The earlier, that would be letter G. The earliest that could happen would be on Tuesday. I'm not saying it happens on Tuesday. That would just simply be the earliest. But it does look like price wants to continue to move higher. Yesterday was nothing more than a test of support. The same thing with regard to Thursday. That test of support being Stevie's green line. That green line being muy importante to assist you with understanding, is the market just pulling back and testing support, or is the retracement something more than that? Without that green line, I wouldn't be able to answer that question with the type of conviction that you and I like to have when we're taking a look at these instruments. If we go take a look at the weekly time frame, Stevie's other charts for the weekly time frame messages out here, what do we see? What we do see is significant resistance at 44.55. Now, look, that is a TD setup resistance breakdown area. We can see that on the move up off of the Rhodes Momentum Indicator bottom back in 2019, that is exactly where price ran into resistance, stalled, and began to move back lower. In fact, it made an A to B equals CD to the downside, a Gartley buy pattern. So even though the line isn't extended all the way across, I could make it extend all the way across. That becomes another resistance zone, 44.55 out there. So that's what the weekly time frame chart shows us. On a monthly time frame chart, what do we have out here? We've got resistance up at about 48.31. So 48.31 could come to fruition, but you've got to see those other levels on the daily and the weekly area fail before price would get up into that area. So what it looks like to me in the short term, by short term using the daily time frames out here, it looks to me like what we're going to see is a little bit of a move higher, maybe, you know, for the early part of next week, where it could identify a couple of different topping patterns out there. So that EHD, I hope that helps you out with regard to what's going on inside the market for it. We've got another question that has come in. Thank you guys, gals, for that. NTNX is the ticker symbol. So let's go ahead and get the charts all set. Then we'll go ahead and read the question out here, see what it actually is. NTNX. So NTNX is New Tanix Corp. It's trading out at 29.09. And the question coming in from Eddie is, can you take a look at it? Well, we're looking at it. It has been moving steadily higher with good earnings and speculation that it could be a takeover target by Google. No idea. Also, is your time frame for the next leg of this bull market in March 2020, or are you moving that up? Now, I haven't moved up anything here, Eddie, because I think we've tried to cover, I've tried to say, hey, look, folks, don't get ahead of ourselves. The market is still in this consolidating pattern. And we took a look at the ES, the NQ, and the YM, how they're hitting up into some resistance levels. Those levels have got to be cleared. The consolidation pattern that we're in has priority over everything out here, in my opinion. That's the way that I'm going to take a look at the charts out there. But back to NTNX, and it doesn't matter to me whether it's a potential takeout or not. Here's what we know about it. Price today and a couple of days ago ran into resistance, top of a daily profile. Doesn't mean it's a sell. Just means that there's sellers up there. They've held the line, kind of like a defense in watching a football game. But we already knew where the defense was, 29.59. Support out here is at 26.41. Price above the top of the weekly profile, so that is short-term bullish, but it's below the monthly. So we've got a mixed bag of messages. Let's go try to figure out what we can see on the other charts here for Stevie. So we do have a Rhodes Momentum Indicator, potential for a Rhodes Momentum Indicator top. Right now what you've got is a shooting star, a bear shooting star candle. I don't know what it's going to look like at 4. I can only tell you what it looks like at 147. If you did get that signal out there, that would confirm the Rhodes Momentum Indicator top. The next thing to confirm it is you'd need to see a level of support being broken. 28.75 would be that area. Now remember, that's the first level. The second level would be the bottom of its daily profile, and that would be 26.41. If you're asking me, should you go ahead and invest in this now, NTNX, because it might be a buyout, the answer is going to be no, because of the topping signal that we are potentially seeing as of 1:48 in the afternoon on the daily time frame chart. Your buy on this would be this pattern fulfills itself, and then you see price push all the way down to 24.39. That's what the daily time frame chart is showing. Let's go take a look at the weekly, see if there's any signals out here that we can rely upon for the weekly time frame. And we really can't. When I say we really can't, I mean we really, really can't, or Stevie can't, because I don't have a pattern out there, excuse me, that helps us identify, or I'm just looking for some kind of valid bottom out here, some type of pattern. I don't have it out here. But if NTX can break above those resistance levels, then Eddie, on a longer-term basis, weekly basis that is, 40.10 would be the number. Now, it looks like there's an A to B equals CD to the upside. Looking at the weekly time frame chart, let's go take a look at those price projections. Those price projections are 33.45, 36.14. So the cool thing here is we know there's a topping pattern. Nothing more bullish than a failed topping pattern. If price is able to close above that 29.59 area, well, then that A to B equals CD pattern we're looking at very well may kick in. Now, that was taken out last week with 15.3 million shares versus 14 million shares. So we'd say there's confirmed A to B equals CD to the upside inside of ticker symbol NTNX. But because the daily time frame chart is saying hold on, and I don't know what you're going to do, I'm going to suggest that you hold on. Wait to see if price can push back to support before you would pull any trigger on a long trade, which I think is what it is you are trying to do. Hector of the fuel injectors wants to take a look at Microsoft. MSFT is a ticker symbol. So let's go take a look at it. MSFT. And Hector's question is, can you please give us your thoughts on Microsoft for the next couple of months out there? So Microsoft is kind of interesting, Hector, and thanks for writing in and asking about Microsoft. Here's what we know, first of all, profile-wise. Above daily, above weekly, and a brand new daily that formed today. Resistance, therefore, being 145.67. Support at 141.65. We come back from this break during the last 2 minutes out there. We'll study the potential for a significant top in Microsoft. It's got that TD set up 9 count, which says the high could have been in October, or maybe it's the month of November. Something to think about.
Since 1984, Basil Chapman has been using the Chapman Wave methodology to advise traders of his expert market opinion. While originally hand-drawing charts from the late 1970s into the 1980s, Basil noticed that prices under most circumstances virtually always had a certain number of legs to the upside before declining sharply. Later, Basil found the computer software, which included the standard market technical indicators, enhanced the degree of accuracy in calling price turns, as well as market trend calls. Thus was born the Chapman Wave sequence. Using the Chapman Wave methodology along with other indicators, Basil Chapman advises his subscribers of his expert market opinion each market day with his opening call newsletter. Right now, you can get a 2-week free trial to the opening call, Basil's daily trading newsletter, by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Cancel at any time during that trial and pay absolutely nothing. Get your 2-week free trial to Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, today by visiting TFNN.com. If you're a trader in the market looking for exposure to gold or gold mining equities, then now is a perfect time to sign up for Tom O'Brien's Gold Report. The summer is over, gold is trading back above $1,500, and the 10-year Treasury is hovering at around 1.5%. Tom O'Brien has been writing his weekly gold report for almost 18 years. There's no one that knows more about how the gold market trades and how gold mining equities react. New subscribers get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to lose. Every Monday morning, Tom publishes his weekly gold report with coverage of gold, silver, bonds, the XAU, HUI, GDX, the dollar, as well as more than 30 different mining equities. As of September 3rd, Gold Report subscribers have 5 active open positions with an average unrealized profit of almost 38% for each position. To see for yourself the types of profitable trades that are recommended within the Gold Report, sign up today by visiting TFNN.com.
You know what's cool? Taking something that's good for you. Something specifically formulated to help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Nico, our hunter and gatherer ancestors found all their nutritional requirements for health in their wild environment. But today, our food sources no longer contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients our bodies need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, soil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty, and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated fulvic and humic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They've been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, life cannot exist without them.
That's right, Paige. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge, formulated and approved by Nico and Paige of Living a Primal Lifestyle. Buy it today for just $89. Click on the Primal Edge banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
This is David White. Stay tuned because coming up next is the Power Trading Hour right here on TFNN.
Welcome back, folks. So we're taking a look at Microsoft for Hector out there, and he was asking, hey, what's it look like for the next couple of months? Now, we had the monthly time frame chart. We've got it back up on our screen here. We can see the last month. First, we can see the prices moving higher, doing less relative energy. Now, that alone is not a topping. It's a topping signal, but it's not a topping pattern. In order to have a topping pattern, we need to see some type of bearish reversal candle. Then we need to see it close below Stevie's green line, which right now is at 139.65. But now you've got two potential topping signals out there in the case of Microsoft. And all that says is just simply kind of be careful out here because those patterns are present. Doesn't mean that price can't mosey along. So then we step it down one notch and we go take a look at the weekly time frame chart. And then the weekly time frame chart, we can see the same kind of a thing. The same kind of a thing is that we've got price moving higher, doing it with less relative energy. So what we're watching for here is some type of bearish reversal candle. Now, what we also can do is we can take a look at our wave count for Microsoft on a weekly basis, Hector, and we start from December of 2018. We start from that significant low in the market. And when we do that, what we can see is that on a weekly basis, Microsoft is in wave number 7. That is letter G. So you've got that. You've got price moving higher, doing less relative energy out there, and it just says, caution, Will Robinson. So you asked, what's it look like is going to happen in the next couple of months out here? What's going to happen is we need to pay close attention to those topping signals inside of Microsoft in order to really be able to answer that question further. So hope that helps you out, folks. It's been a great week, for me. I hope it's been a great week for you. And, let's not forget, if we take a look at the ES Mini, price is up against a resistance area. If we take a look at the NQ, price is up against 2 resistance levels. If we take a look at the Dow, very close to resistance out there. The consolidation is alive and well. Prices have not broken out. So we've got to be careful, even though we're in the favorable seasonal cycle. Have a terrific weekend, folks. We'll look forward to seeing you on Magnificent Monday. Take care. Be safe.